Bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
Everyone!
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 method actors.
Say it louder. I've abandoned my child! I've abandoned my child! I've abandoned my boy!
For this list, we'll be looking at film performers known for their extremely dedicated approach to roles. Did we forget a notable method actor? Let us know in the comments below. Number 20. James Dean. Having studied at the Actors Studio, James Dean is often named on the list of highly influential actors of the 1950s. He entered the film world with an exceptionally personal approach to roles. In Rebel Without a Cause, Dean took the world by storm with a realistic portrayal of a teenager in crisis.
You're tearing me apart!
What?
You say one thing, he says another, and everybody changes back again!
He's also well known for two other fantastic performances in East of Eden and the Western film Giant. The latter allowed him to branch out into a part that saw him playing other ages and speaking with a different accent, which he pulled off in scenes that featured him in heartbreaking hysterics. While he only had 3 major chances to wow audiences, he did so spectacularly and became a Hollywood icon as a result.
Me, I'm gonna have more money than you ever thought you could have. You and all the rest of you stinking sons of Benedicts.
Number 19. Jim Carrey. After spending time doing work in both stand-up comedy and television, Jim Carrey finally broke through as a bankable film actor in the mid-1990s. The end of the decade saw him trying more serious roles, such as the Andy Kaufman biopic Man on the Moon.
What's in the Philippines? A miracle.
For his stint as the real-life comedian, Carrey became Kaufman both on and off screen. He drove the production staff crazy, staying in character and sometimes disrupting the filmmaking process. Controversially dedicated to the bitter end, his impeccably accurate performance did garner praise upon the movie's release.
You don't know the real me.
There isn't a real you.
Oh, yeah.
Number 18. Nicolas Cage. Sometimes controversial and always entertaining, Nicolas Cage's appearances on screen have garnered him awards and criticism. For leaving Las Vegas, it's been said that Cage had an actor who suffered from alcohol use disorder be his drinking coach.
You haven't seen the worst of it. These last few days, I've been very controlled. But I knock things over and throw up all the time.
This research doesn't stop at his more dramatic roles either, since even a movie like Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance made the performer go the extra mile. He reportedly scared his co-stars by painting his face, putting in black contact lenses, and avoiding speaking to people. Even with recent films such as The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, the star has adopted an interpretive technique that he calls nouveau shamanism. His ability to channel all sorts of idiosyncratic methods makes every subsequent undertaking that much more compelling.
But with film performance, you're making too many movies, Nick. You're working too hard, Nick. Have the audience miss you more, Nick. I mean, hello, it's my job. I pay my bills. I feed my family. You're annoying. Gosh.
Number 17. Val Kilmer. Working with the intense director Oliver Stone, Val Kilmer took his role as Jim Morrison seriously while filming The Doors. The musical biopic followed Morrison's journey to rock fame and inspired Kilmer to enter into the realm of method actors.
What do your parents think about what you're doing?
Actually, I don't remember being born. It must have happened during one of my blackouts.
Total and absolute discipline was ostensibly needed to achieve the final product, which included having crew members call him by the frontman's name. Kilmer didn't stop there. He learned the bulk of the musician's catalog in order to perform the songs, reportedly clocking in more than 100 hours of researching. The film's release was nothing short of a career-defining moment for the lead actor, despite the extensive preparation that he would later attend therapy to work through.
I am the Lizard King. I can do anything.
Number 16. Adrien Brody. Adrien Brody won an Oscar for his role in The Pianist, and not just because he learned to play the title instrument.
I need this tie for my work.
Your work?
Yes, that's right, I work.
Yes, your work. Playing the piano for the parasites in the ghetto.
Parasites.
He dedicated himself wholly to the role of Vladislav Spielman, losing 30 pounds, disconnecting from his old life entirely, and selling a great deal of his belongings. Vladislav Spielman was a pianist and a survivor of the Holocaust, and his story is especially awe-inspiring given the real-life hardships. With those necessary and difficult details, Brody decided his best course of action was to physically and mentally give himself over to the project. The experience ended up staying with him until after the production completed, so much so that he struggled with continuing other work afterwards.
Yeah. So this. Food's more important than time.
Number 15. Choi Min-sik. In the film Oldboy, Choi Min-sik heads on a violent path to find out who imprisoned him. His character, Oh Dae-soo, stops by a restaurant and prompts the actor to eat live seafood.
살아있는 게 먹고 싶다고 했다.
The scene required the performer to eat 4 octopuses, which he did in a moment of complete commitment. To make matters even more complicated, Choi is a Buddhist and a vegetarian who would normally steer clear of any living creature, so he reportedly said a prayer for each octopus before consuming them. His performance in this South Korean classic presented all sorts of physical challenges that he willingly took on to ensure the unequivocal memorableness of the film.
나왔습니다. 산 거 맞죠? 이제 잘라도 될까요?
Number 14. Dustin Hoffman. Dustin Hoffman has multiple awards and even more nominations for his authentic characters in everything from Midnight Cowboy to Rain Man.
Was I there? Where was I?
You were in the window. You waved to me. Bye-bye, Rain Man. Bye-bye.
His roles include Ted in Kramer vs. Kramer, a highly detailed story about divorce that saw the actor provoking his co-star Meryl Streep into a more heightened enactment. He starred alongside Laurence Olivier in the film Marathon Man, whereby he was said to have stayed awake for days to achieve his character's exhausted state, though he would later admit this feat was not undertaken uniquely for the role. Either way, Olivier famously remarked that Hoffman was going overboard and should try acting instead. Their clash in styles provoked one of the more iconic criticisms about the method.
What are you going to do now? Shoot me?
No, I don't think so.
Number 13. Montgomery Clift. Montgomery Clift arrived in the scene in the 1940s with roles in films such as Red River.
Yeah, that's very good. Hey, that's good too.
Clift's emergence in cinema predated even Marlon Brando, a personality he was often compared to, as both were early adopters of the method. Clift starred in a number of early 1950s projects, including George Stevens' A Place in the Sun. Other projects included Hitchcock's I Confess, a feat which he spent a night behind bars for in order to act out his character's jail scenes. His independence as an artist defined the traditional path for actors in Hollywood. And despite sometimes being underrated in his work and career, the star opened doors for his contemporaries and played an important part in changing screen acting.
I love you. I've loved you since the first moment I saw you. I guess maybe I even loved you before I saw you.
Number 12. Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson was not an instant success in films, but his breakthrough in the late 1960s signaled a sea change in Hollywood. His legendary run in the 1970s contained work from 5 Easy Pieces to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
But I tried, didn't I? God damn it. At least I did that.
Nicholson's charisma propelled him to stardom alongside his own particular brand of movie acting. According to the Oscar winner himself, nobody is a greater testament to the method, particularly because it's not widely known that he employs the techniques. With a keen eye, however, it's easy to see that he's taken inspiration from many of the method's original users, with his power coming through in a wide variety of dynamic performances. From being a playboy astronaut to a bitter military officer, Nicholson always puts on the front of effortlessness.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Number 11. Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix never turns in a boring performance, largely attributable to the way he transforms into a completely different person for each of his cinematic efforts. He even pretended to quit acting for the mockumentary I'm Still Here.
You're not going to act anymore?
No.
Huh. Why is that?
I don't know.
This is partly due to his ability to empathize with any character, such as the emotionally complex protagonist in The Joker. Phoenix had to explore the depths of humanity through the eyes of a troubled clown and drop a significant amount of weight. With such a great performer in the part, the disturbing elements of the story truly come to fruition. Plus, having played nuanced leading men such as Johnny Cash, the artist is no stranger to digging deep for a movie.
Nothing wrong with black.
It looks like you're going to a funeral.
Maybe I am.
Number 10. Jared Leto. Throughout his controversial career, Jared Leto has maintained a hands-on approach to acting. He's never shied away from gaining or losing weight for a part. This includes a startling turn in dramas such as Requiem for a Dream and Chapter 27.
You are beautiful. You're the most beautiful girl in the world.
His method acting has also purportedly caused tension on the sets he's worked on. For example, in order to channel the Joker in Suicide Squad, Leto pulled some pretty unhinged pranks on his co-stars, including gifting Margot Robbie a live rat. Leto continues to provoke discussions for his wide range of notable roles in and out of the superhero genre.
Relax, I don't bite. I guess you're handsome in a Texas hick white trash dumb kind of way.
Number 9. Hilary Swank. Hilary Swank has gone all out in preparation for numerous movies. While today she says that a transgender man should have played her role in Boys Don't Cry, at the time Swank was diligent in her endeavor to properly represent her trans character.
I've been bored my whole life. Yeah? Is that why you let John tie you up to the back of a truck and drag you around like a dog? No, I just thought that's what guys do around here.
She spent over a month trying to be perceived as a man, all in preparation to understand her character as deeply as she could. In the film $1 Million Baby, she achieved the role of a boxer by throwing herself into the ring, a feat that actually led to her contracting a staph infection. Both roles would go on to earn her an Academy Award for Best Actress.
The problem is, this is the only thing I ever felt good doing. If I'm too old for this, then I got nothing. That enough truth to suit you?
Number 8. Gary Oldman. Much revered for his passionate acting, Gary Oldman is famous for his many outrageous characters and villains. He's definitely never been accused of phoning in a performance. His role as Winston Churchill in Darkest Hour involved detailed makeup work that helped Oldman achieve an accurate look.
You know, last night they said I might be made Prime Minister today, but that was yesterday. Let's see what happens today.
He also decided to indulge in Churchill's cigar habit for several sequences, costing something like $20,000 to keep up. This caused much more than financial pain as the actor developed nicotine poisoning. Willing to go above and beyond, it's no surprise Oldman took home plenty of awards for playing the British Prime Minister.
There shall be no negotiated peace.
Number 7. Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger turned in one fantastic performance after the other in the 2000s. Early dramatic parts like Sonny Grotowski in Monsters Ball saw him asking co-star Billy Bob Thornton to actually punch him in a scene. His magnum opus in acting came with The Dark Knight, a film that allowed him to completely escape his previous image.
But I know the truth. There's no going back. You've changed things. Forever.
He turned himself into a deranged supervillain through long hours of working alone in his hotel room. Turning his pre-production process into a comprehensive college course, Ledger developed a profile for the role as well as a signature laugh. His hard work paid off in an iconic effort that won him a much-deserved Academy Award.
In their last moments, people show you who they really are. So, in a way, I knew your friends better than you ever did.
Number 6. Al Pacino. Al Pacino is one of America's finest dramatic actors with a career spanning multiple decades. He was mostly passed over for major awards until his performance in Scent of a Woman.
Mr. Sims, you are a cover-up artist and you are a liar.
But not a snitch.
Excuse me?
No, I don't think I will.
Pacino thoroughly committed to portraying a blind man. Following a period of extended research and working with a school for the visually impaired, the actor developed a way of living that might resemble that of someone with a disability. On set, he would keep from focusing his eyes, a decision that led to him injuring his eyesight. Some might argue that he didn't need to go to such lengths, but his Academy Award may just speak for itself.
Get on with your life, would you?
What life? I got no life! I'm in the dark here!
Number 5. Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep's name is practically synonymous with award-winning excellence at this point. Streep gave a complicated mother a heart in Kramer vs. Kramer, her first Oscar-winning performance of many.
I came here to take my son home. And I realize he already is home.
But she's perhaps best known for her work in Sophie's Choice, an emotional roller coaster that features one of the most unforgettable decisions in movie history. Her chameleon-like powers allow her to assume any accent and play any character under the sun. She finally admitted to falling out of love with method acting after having to play the evil boss in The Devil Wears Prada. Thankfully, this hasn't seemed to impact her interminably commendable portrayals in the slightest.
I mean, what if I don't want to live the way you live?
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Andrea. Everybody wants this.
Number 4. Christian Bale. Christian Bale has gone to great lengths to play many unforgettable roles. His determination to become Patrick Bateman in American Psycho resulted in a chilling performance like no other.
I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane?
Great tan, Marcus. I mean, really impressive.
Still, this pales in comparison to his weight loss for the movie The Machinist, which saw the actor become a completely different person entirely. Bale never seems to turn down an acting challenge, and this was made even more apparent when, upon his weight loss, he was offered the chance to play Batman. This, of course, meant that he'd have to undergo physical changes once more in order to achieve Bruce Wayne's chiseled build. The performer may never return to such drastic techniques, but it remains obvious that he is nothing short of committed to his efforts.
It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me.
Number 3. Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro has been an acting powerhouse for countless decades. Following his studies with the likes of Coach Stella Adler, De Niro steadily built up his cinematic chops in the 1970s. He earned praise for his work in The Godfather Part 2 and Taxi Driver, the latter of which he prepared for by working long hours as an NYC cab driver.
Want to work uptown tonight, South Bronx, Harlem?
I'll work anytime, anywhere.
Will you work Jewish holidays?
Anytime, anywhere.
His 1980 turn as boxer Jake LaMotta was an assignment like no other in the masterpiece Raging Bull. Becoming a toned brawler and then a much larger version of the athlete later in life, De Niro and his weight training practically initiated the trend of drastic body fluctuations for roles. Number 2. Daniel Day-Lewis. Famously disappearing into every role, Daniel Day-Lewis largely revived people's fascination with the method.
I have a competition in me. I want no one else to succeed.
He's the most lauded actor of his generation because of his unparalleled dedication to every job. This includes making decisions such as remaining in a wheelchair throughout the filming of My Left Foot. He's also known for staying in character throughout shooting, maintaining a particular voice, and capturing pitch-perfect accents of all kinds. When he becomes villains such as Bill the Butcher or Daniel Plainview, you believe every single second of his performance. Few others could play Abraham Lincoln, and win an Oscar for it after all.
I can't accomplish a goddamn thing of any human meaning or worth until we cure ourselves of slavery and end this pestilential war.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Marlon Brando. For many actors of the 20th century, Marlon Brando was regarded as the most inspirational of them all. His game-changing work brought the method technique into full view with his early stint in A Streetcar Named Desire.
Hey, Stella!
Stanley Kowalski and later Terry Malloy from On the Waterfront both showcased his impeccable humanity and range. The intensity bounced off the screen in every single performance, especially in his later turn as Don Corleone from The Godfather. He could easily lure audiences in with his subtlety before letting all hell break loose with explosive emotion. Brando continues to be a guiding light for performers of all kinds, transcending even film acting as a heavyweight on stage and screen.
It's too late. They start shooting in a week.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.